So one thing that I really appreciated that I've been thinking about lately with some of my colleagues is that we have to acknowledge we're in a bit of a hiring freeze in terms of some of the big employers of PhD skill sets. So we often talk about governments employing these skill sets, definitely provincial and federally. We talk about consulting work with a variety of corporations, and we also talk about the nonprofit sector. Well, right now it's tough. It's competitive if you want to pursue a tenure track position, and it's competitive for most positions right now in the economy. And so one perspective I've heard on that I really appreciated was the idea that PhD students should see that as an opportunity. The reason it's an opportunity is we know no matter what that there's going to be some huge retirements soon. Probably think, 2016 or something like that. It's coming no matter what. And the opportunity exists in the fact that all of the managers and all of the people in leadership roles who would usually be busy hiring, recruiting, screening candidates aren't. So they are much more available to talk to you right now than they ever have been before. So they would be willing to do things like informational meetings or build relationships. So it's actually the perfect time for you to be expanding your network, starting to talk to people in government so that if that's maybe an interest of yours or exploring what's out there, so that when you do graduate, you have that relationship, you have the inside track, you know what they're looking for, and you've taken the opportunity of your studies to slowly develop that. So that when you're at the door of graduation, or maybe you've done a few adjunct positions or sessional positions and you think maybe you'd like to try something else, you already have that foundation built for yourself. And so I would encourage people to look at the opportunities in that as well, rather than just looking at how many job postings are up on our websites. The other thing that's an opportunity in that is work still needs to get done. So what are they doing to get around the hiring freeze? They have to. So they have permission often to offer contracts and consultancy contracts under a certain amount of dollars. And so I think for graduate students to start to position themselves as experts in their areas or experts in certain skill sets and reach out to those potential employers, they might be able to get some contracts. They may even be able to count them as publications or things like that, and start to build their credibility in industry as well. And the last thing I'll add is that we know that academia does value industry connections in all areas. There's a couple of reasons for that, but I think the skill sets that are valued in industry around administrative skill sets or the ability to recruit or work well with colleagues, we are expecting faculty to do more and more of those things. And we're expecting them to bring in students. We're expecting them to manage budgets, to start new programs. And so they can demonstrate those skill sets through any other experiences they have. And we also know that a lot of the funding for universities comes from industry. So there's neat research grants out there when you're partnering with the community, and there's also organizations that are interested in funding research. So it could look really attractive to hire someone into a faculty position who has those connections. And so to think about it that way as well is a bit of a competitive edge to broaden your skill set.